Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're becoming crushed under a tidal wave of unfathomable numbers. By one count, over 1 million have now been infected by coronavirus worldwide since the start of this outbreak. Tens of thousands have died.
But President Trump is blasting some governors across the country as he questions the need for more supplies. Some have insatiable appetites and are never satisfied, he tweeted. The complainers should have been stocked up and ready long before this crisis hit. But with a growing number of temporary morgues set up outside hospitals, healthcare workers are already grappling with life or death decisions.
That bowl of salt should kind of be like a snowy consistency. Put a good base down. All right, so that salt and the lemon, like, I'll tell you what, I got cuts on my hands right now and it fucking hurts. But push through it, get the rest of that salt over those fish. Make sure there's an inch or so between them so that they cook evenly. You want them to be totally encompassed in your salt egg white solution. Pack it down. You can always change the consistency by adding more salt if it's too mushy for you. You want it to be like kind of like a snowy, slushy snow. All right.
Now, a good indication for when the fish is done cooking is when it starts to brown. At 350, that's usually around like 17, 23, 25 minutes or so. Just watch for it start to brown, and if it starts to brown more on one end than the other, take it, flip it, make sure it's cooking evenly.
All right, so this branzino sauce is super, super easy. It's a traditionally French sauce, and it's one of the easiest sauces you'll ever make. They like to boil or blanch their tomatoes first to get the skin to blister, and then they peel the skin off, but we're not going to do that. It's too much work. So we've got our cherry tomatoes right here. We've oblique cut them in half. We'll put them in our saucepan, and it's just tomatoes, salt, pepper, olive oil. That's it. Now, the longer this cooks, the more those tomatoes will start to break down. So we're gonna throw that on the stove right now. We are going to blanch in salty water, salty like the ocean as always. good, but it's salty like if you wipe out on a wave when you're surfing, and you get a mouthful of seawater. That's what you're looking for. We're gonna let that cook for a long time. I'm gonna turn it down now that it's up to boiling. And I'm just gonna let it kind of simmer. So that's the heat it's at now. And I'll just let that simmer. This is on full heat. I'm bringing it to a boil as quick as I can. That's delicate. You want to take these fingers, and these are your that middle knuckle is your guide. You're taking the knife and you're rocking it, and you're sliding chives in. We're just going to put some chives on top of this just to add a little bit of aroma. I'm going to add some rosemary, thyme for aroma. And that's ready for the oven. Alright, so we're going to do that same dressing we did with the lamb chops. Super easy, super basic, very French and traditional. They don't like to use a lot of different ingredients. We're just throwing Dijon, red vinegar, because we're going to do a red vinaigrette. To me, that looks like too much vinegar, so more Dijon. Some of the chives. So when you add in the oil, you got to start very slow. So I like to kind of make a ring so I can free up a hand. And as I whisk with one hand, I add it in just a little bit at a time, like a drop, and go. And as you integrate it, you just start to go in with more. But if it de-emulsifies on you, you have to start all over. You can't go too much at once. Cool. That's what I want. I think it's missing is just like a dash of sugar. Nobody would ever guess that there's sugar in it. We'll put a little bit of lemon juice. All right, there it is.
This is dangerous. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I trying to do this well?
Maybe the one who is waiting for you will prove untrue then what will